JM Race Engines is a new business in north central Missouri that have you covered from top to bottom for all your engine needs. Purpose-built engines with the correct amount of clearance will get you to the end of any show, whether it's your local shows or on the national level, where you can't be let down by your equipment. With top-level professional machine work to all engines, your choice of build is totally up to you. JM Race Engines will give you the confidence to push your equipment to the max while giving you your preferred horsepower to boot. From LS builds all the way to your exotic level small blocks that your imagination can only dream of, they have you covered.
But it doesn't stop there. They are also a speed shop that carries a variety of heads, carburetors, intakes, plug wires, helmets, and other safety equipment, and the best VP fuel on the market today to take you to the top. So if you're wanting mild build to wild build, let JM Race Engines help take you there. Ladies and gentlemen, Hard Nosed Derby Podcast, happy Memorial Day.
What up with it? How much beer you drink this weekend?
Man, you're going to shit. I've drank maybe 10 beers.
I think you're slacking.
Dude, I told you I've got a plan.
Because when we started this deal, it was a...
Yeah.
What is Steven drinking today? Could be Blue Moon.
We weren't recording at 10 o'clock in the morning.
No, it was more like 6 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
It changes a little bit of things.
No, I'm going to try to... I'm on nights next week. Or this week. Sorry. So I go in Tuesday night, and I should be off. Now, good Lord willing. I should be off Friday morning.
So what he is implementing here, guys, is that there is a possibility somebody could be in Adel, Iowa for Border Wars 2025 Day 2.
Yes. My game plan is to get as much as I can done Wednesday night. So Thursday night I can be done by like 1 o'clock in the morning. And I can float that bitch to the house, get in my truck, and haul ass north. And see what happens.
Well, I ain't holding my breath on it.
No, I wouldn't either.
Because it's liable to rain some fucking day between...
Well, I don't think we can work out there on Friday night, so that's a plus.
Oh, that is a plus.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we had a guest drive in from 14 seconds away.
He says, I guess I should have walked.
And I
Bitch,
said,
I know better than that.
Easy.
He could have walked over and got my golf cart, I guess, and then just pulled up the driveway.
Oh, Big D, what's up?
Oh, not much. How are you guys?
We're here.
Well, since we got him, let's talk on Salisbury a little bit before we jump on to what's happening for the next week or so.
Still haven't caught up on sleep.
We've been saying it all year. Summer team shows. The only thing about team shows is they usually are late.
Yep.
Late to start, late to finish.
There it is.
I mean, it's... and I'm going to fucking pick on Huff a little bit because I called it. I'm going to load them if they're still in the tech line. No, you're not. I mean, dude, the only reason I said that, and the only reason I'm even giving them any shit, is I've been there. Said the same shit.
Yes.
And you can't. You can't fucking load them. And you got people showing up at 3:07.
As normal.
But whenever those shows don't start when they're supposed to, you know the night's fucked. I mean, as far as time management.
And then you're throwing in some auction shit. Then you're throwing in some tug of war stuff, you know.
Let's get in on that for a second. This is not football.
Nope.
We don't need a fucking halftime show.
Nope.
I mean, I understand they're trying to push that out so people's got time to work on their cars. But everybody knows that they signed up for a one-day team show. We told them at Mother's Day Madness, whenever they were like, well, how the person that runs is going to get more time. Fucking be the first heat. Call somebody out. That's how this shit works.
First team to pass tech
Yep.
got to choose.
Yes. That's
They
what we
wanted-
did, and then the call-outs went in order after that. If you called somebody out, you're in the next heat. It's that simple. Grow the balls or don't sign up for a one-day team show. Am I wrong?
No.
Big D, going into it, you knew that you were going to have minimal time
Yep.
to work on your shit. If you draw that shit heat where you've got to run the consi, you done know that you're going to have 45 minutes to an hour to fix what you fucked up in the consi. Now,
Well-
if your first heat out the gate,
Yeah.
You do have an
now
upper
you
hand.
got an extra 45 minutes.
well, shit, you've got more than that. But like I said, the extra bullshit, I think, in a lot of these shows needs to stop.
Now, there was a reason why,
No, 100%, I get that.
on the auction stuff, but
Yeah.
the tug of war stuff,
Eh,
come on, dudes.
yeah.
No one to stop and no one to get the shit rolling because
Well, that was the difference between this show getting over at 3 o'clock in the morning or 1 o'clock in the morning.
because I pulled in. D said he didn't get here till 3. I pulled in at 1:17.
Oh, hell, I was home by midnight.
Yes, you were, because you left,
I did.
cocksucker.
I seen the gap.
Well,
Everybody goes, you leaving? Yep. Out. See you. I Irish goodbye that motherfucker.
we started getting some raindrops.
Yeah.
Prime time went up and said, "Hey, boys, you want to keep people here? You better switch these two."
We'd said it. We fucking said it. You showcased this class. This is what your headlining class was.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to lose your crowd.
Because they did.
And
As
you
soon as the checkered flag flew on that burning
Everybody
son
gone.
of a bitch, they were gone. So Big D and them got to take a win with like 14 people in the stands.
Dude, we did it. Halloween Havoc. Mm-hmm. Ended with that gut and go. 6 fucking people standing there watching.
And 30 cars.
Yeah.
Yeah. So D, how was your first experience of
Salisbury
this year
Team
at
Show.
Team Show?
It was good.
Because you're no stranger to a team show.
Right. Good team. Actually, I told them for weeks I wasn't running. Cody kept on me. I was like, no. And then glad they convinced me. Worked out pretty good.
Well, my deal with that is you've run against them before.
Oh, yeah.
You all have been on the track together several times.
Yeah.
It was like, that shit, we talk about it all the time with these teams that you don't see together all the time. It looked like you all have been doing that shit for years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Plan came together.
Man,
Cash the check.
you love it when a plan comes together.
Yeah.
What was... We're not going to get into some
Right.
dramatical shit or anything like that, but did anything surprise you, even going through tech, to, the heat? Because shit got a little haywire in the heat. We're just going to throw that out there. Fuck it. You and I were talking before we actually hit start. Somebody who was taking your car is used to a certain set of rules,
Yeah.
and they're not so familiar with the new set of rules
Right.
at Blizzard Bash from 23, 4, and 5. Because most of the time, a Blizzard Bash mod is going to have the basic same rule minus a few little tweaks and bullshit.
Right.
How bad was the fight getting through tech when somebody just wasn't quite sure of the rules?
Well, hold on. I got a question before you answer that. Is that how it was stated that Blizzard Bash mods is what the rules they were going off of?
Yes. And we pulled these cars literally off the Blizzard Bash track and show up here and you're cutting this, you're doing that. And we're trying to tell him no. well, you can't do that. I'm like, then why
So
the
why
fuck
the
did we
fuck
just
wouldn't
run
you
Blizzard
have
Bash?
Blizzard Bash rules printed out? Like, you know,
Exact.
from 24.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
You can't be like Blizzard Bash 2017 rules. Like, how the fuck do I get that? Where do I get that at?
yeah.
I don't know if you can archive them bitches and go back that far or not.
Because that's my only issue with borrowing rules.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever Big D and Reno were teching, I told them, I was like, you fuckers get together, give me
some
some
shit
rules
out.
and I will post that shit.
Yep.
I said, you all do whatever you want. Phone calls are coming to you. I don't know what the fuck. I don't even know what I'm looking at. So,
A what? A W what?
yeah, I don't know what that is.
Forward.
But that's, you run into that shit. Like, we borrowed Candace's street stock rules with improvisions.
Yep.
So that was another obstacle. It just, you can't be perfect.
But the deal of it is when you
That's pretty
have
close,
a full-time tech, such as we had.
Right.
We had full-time techs. They read the rules. I'm talking, went through the rules to see what was in there and what wasn't. They just didn't glance over them.
And see, we had issues with that too, though, because we had Jerry that was teching for Austin. His rules were different than ours.
Mm-hmm.
And Jerry would get to kind of cross.
Get a little crossed up, yep.
And then I had people coming to me, and I'm like, that's a night shift problem.
And the two techs that were at Salisbury, one of them, I mean, he knew what we were doing and it was okay. And he's trying to tell the other one, and the other one's not wanting to listen. And
Oh, I don't miss that shit. Because that's what Landon and Huff come up to me. And they're like, what would you do here? I was like, I'm glad I'm not standing where you're standing.
I do not have an STO shirt on, boys and
no.
girls.
he could probably get you one.
Yeah, I'm good on that. Because that's what Landon said. You know, whenever we ask him, he's like, man, I will tech
He said, I do
forever.
not want to be on
He
this
said,
wall.
I do not want to be on this wall. I said, nobody does. Nobody fucking wants to be up there.
You know, but, you know,
You do. You've got the ones that, and this is not toward anybody in particular. I mean that. Usually there's something hidden whenever I say shit like this. But usually the motherfuckers that don't mind being up there are the ones that are fucking retarded. You know what I'm saying? Like the ones that live
They're a
for
little
that shit.
fucked
They're
up.
like, you
Yeah.
know, like, oh yeah, fuck, I want to do that. No, you don't.
I just did it
Yes,
for a
dude.
better view of the track.
Exactly. See, 'cause remember, like having to damn near drag Reno up on the fucking dirt every show. Like you'd almost have to grab him by the leg and drag his ass up there. I don't want to do that. Like, I don't give a shit. Get up there.
a lot of people are fine looking at the cars, taking
Yeah.
the cars, doing whatever. But that's a whole different level of responsibility.
Well,
You could have fucked up,
Yeah.
and I missed something on your car. So you pull out, and you walk the dog on these motherfuckers, and everybody is looking at you. Well, he teched it, and now he's official on it, and this dude just came in here and cleared the
we
track
had
all by
that
himself and
shit
never been.
happen with somebody that didn't dog walk the track. They were out like they got like 10th. And somebody was like, that fucking car's got a rear end brace. I'm like, it didn't look like it helped him. I said, and go crawl underneath the motherfucker. We made him cut it.
Yep.
It did.
Yeah,
It
they
had
don't see
slices every 3 inches. All the way across the rear end.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, the fucking rear end brace, y'all are just letting whatever in. I'm like, Jesus fuck.
His bumper is over the headers.
Yeah. They
What?
folded this dude up like a pretzel in the corner. And y'all are worried about his fucking rear end brace.
Oh, God.
He had an extra lug nut on there. Fuck off. I think his doors were welded 6 inches.
So, let's get back to Salisbury.
Yeah.
Woo!
All right. It's going to be one of those days.
We haven't drank yet, dudes. Not a drop.
Speak for yourself. No, I'm just
Well,
fucking
you had
with
Java Monster.
So, anyway. You get through tech, finally. After that was the first hard-fought battle. What'd you think of the heat drop?
Well,
I had to ask.
originally, them guys were called out
Right.
by Tyler Friday night, and then it went south after that.
Yeah.
Because we wanted first heat, like you guys said, give me
Right.
more time.
Mm-hmm.
We want to set the pace, and we knew how we were going to drive. And then we didn't get them. We just didn't want to draw our buddies.
Right.
And then we drew them, so we got to do that anyway. They weren't happy, obviously, you could tell.
Well,
Hold on, but in that same token, these dudes got there Friday,
Yeah.
and they were way overbuilt.
Which,
and they were going to load them, correct?
yeah, he was loaded. And to my understanding, Tyler said, no, we'll run them first heat.
Mhm.
Just let them run. You know, they drove however many hours
Right.
it is. Well, they were all for it, and then I guess they stayed up all night cutting the car, which I looked at it. Still shouldn't. I mean, which I don't. When I show up at Derby, I don't care what you got.
Which we've seen that shit before.
Mhm.
I'm not going to complain. I mean,
Yep.
beat me or win or lose, I'm not going to be mad. And then they still.
I don't know. You was getting beat one time at Macon, and I was fucking mad.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Remember that?
I do remember
I
that.
was trying to come through the fucking fence.
Yeah.
Like, there was no way the official was watching the show because he was locked on me because I was trying to come through the fucking fence.
Yeah, I wasn't too happy that night.
Yeah, I was not. Like, very rarely do I get like that toward an official ever, but I was sick of watching it. I was like, y'all are. I hope y'all brought lube because you're fucking him to death.
Yeah.
Then I thought one day you were going to throw shit through my television. Let him off the fucking wall.
Oh yeah,
Let him off the wall.
Oh, or he.
Yeah.
Yeah. D would come
he
down
was,
and get right back up. D would come down, he'd go right back up.
because he wouldn't stop, and I was like, "Come on, motherfuckers, turn him loose."
I actually asked the official after that. I said, "Are you going to do your job this weekend, or is this how it's going to be?" Because
Now you get paid for this motherfucker.
you know the rules as well as I do.
Okay, sorry. Anyway, back to that. So overbuilt. You all said you'd take them.
Yeah.
Stand up. Told them to unload. You know, fuck it, we'll run against them. Which is always cool. I like that shit.
Tyler called me. He's like, "What do you think?" I'm like, "I've never even seen the car, but I don't care." I mean,
Well, I mean, we went through the same shit with Reno and everybody at Palmyra whenever we were going to load Clayton.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's like, "Nah, just
that's the thing. You can have the hardest car.
why
You
not?"
just you got to be able to drive it too.
Correct. You know, because we had all kind of conversed before the show, before you even got there, and we were at the. What I ask you, front wheel drive, right? Yeah. So I don't give a shit if it's a 5-foot car if they can't steer that motherfucker.
Exactly.
Right.
And if they got an axle knocked out of it, whether one wheeling peeling, you know, who cares? And that was your all's game plan because
Which
the
that
heat-
heat got fucking rowdy.
rowdy, fast.
Which you all knew it was going to.
And that was our
a
that
game
was our
plan.
exact game plan. Whoever we drew, that was the game plan. We were just gonna go out there and act a fool and fix whatever we had to fix, and then go play it smart in the feature. And
The thing about you guys though is those we've said it. Steven hates them, and we know that. But you guys
I
are
don't
running
hate the
around.
ones that run.
No, but you guys are running around in mini tanks.
yeah,
Really you
Oh,
are.
yeah.
When you're tying shit in that you get to tie into, the only way to bend the car is under your ass.
As soon as you see a cradle go in one of them cars, like
You're like, oh shit, and this is gonna hurt.
I do like hearing them hit because it's like those big hits in football. You know, whenever you hear the fucking pads, that's what it's like whenever you hear them cars hit bumper to bumper. It's like smacking two hammers together.
bumper to bumper is an idea.
I like it.
I like watching it.
Oh yeah, I like it whenever you see their eyes poke out a little bit. Whenever they hit.
Yeah, it's a good time.
No, no, it's not.
Like I said, I've rode in one of them. Fuck that.
No,
Fuck
it is not a.
Absolutely not.
It is
Now,
not a
didn't
good
you
time.
ride in a Mustang with Josh Gordon?
Right.
You can't base it off of that.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, that was back whenever they were just that nobody knew what he was running, and like I helped him weld that car up. The front end, the bumper was shoulder height, and it wasn't going to move. Like I knew that was. It took three of us to put the fucking hood on a Mustang.
Mustang hoods aren't real big, boys. if you catch what he's throwing down.
And that was a Fox body hood.
Well, it
Yeah.
started as a Fox body.
3 of us to put the fucking hood on it. Because whenever we got up there to Milan in that car, they were like, front end's too high. Fucking pre-ran. How? What? Ever seen anybody measure a bumper on a fucking pre-ran? How do you do that? It's too high. It's going to hurt somebody. Well, no. It still doesn't work like that.
Well, they tried that at Salisbury. Cradle's too far back. I'm like, Cody's like, it's pre-ran. It's pre-ran. Push back. I mean, back to the 2015 rules is what
Right.
they were looking at.
So you guys get through your heat. Got a little crazy. Y'all got it done pretty damn fast.
All we had to do, it was quick, and they were mad. I mean, would y'all have that? Tyler had to put a rear tire on. Reno had to do some carb work and check fluids, and we were ready to go again.
That's the thing about mini tanks. As long as it's not an axle,
Right.
front axle transmission.
Which
Something
I
like
bet
that.
you all got good enough at that. The axle thing is probably not horrible, is it?
No, not. I mean, just don't take stupid shots.
Right.
Sometimes you don't have a choice.
Right.
You said you cleared somebody's said bumper and you're kind of in the radiator a little bit and you can't quite get off and you've got a wheel just kind of hanging up in the air. You can't control
Not good.
that. You're like, fuck, this is going to suck.
Well, it was, you see freak shit happen whenever stuff like that happens. Whenever Gordon cleared Powell. Gordon was in that square body up here, and Powell was in that fucking Impala. Gordon went plumb over top of his bumper, wiped the clip off that Impala, but poked a hole in his oil pan.
Yep.
Torched the fucking motor right there. So, and Gordon's car was straight. But it was almost like it was a punishment for, running, what I'm saying?
That's what you get for driving like a dumbass.
Well, it really wasn't because he knew that he could clear
Oh, yeah.
the bumper. And, wipe the clip off of it. Hell, you've got a lot of a Derby one. You get the clip smeared off somebody's car, radiator's going with it.
Oh, yeah.
But whenever you stick a 76 Impala bumper through your oil pan, you're done too. Which you all don't have to deal with that too much. Like if you go up over top of somebody.
We go over top of somebody, you're taking out your radiator because it hangs down so far.
Right.
Bottom
Yeah, because
core
you all
support.
can't put core support spacers and shit. It doesn't work like that. I understand that too. Mopars and whatnot.
Anything with a fucking K-frame.
Yeah. It's just a different, I don't think people really realize that. I know the guys that, what you all build all the time, but, oh, God, man, why is your radiator hanging down? I don't know how the fuck to fix that. You can't stick it out the hood. And that's just kind of where it's built.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now a lot of those guys, especially east of us, radiators in there, but it ain't got shit in it.
Right.
I mean, it's all hot blocked.
Which,
And,
whenever I went to Blizzard Bash in that Mopar mine, I put like a PT Cruiser radiator in it because it almost looked like an air condenser. It did. But I was running that Mopar motor and it liked heat, so I was like, fuck it. Maybe I can keep a little water in it this way.
so
How many cars were in your all's feature? Or how many teams?
Us, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7.
Okay, so that was a pretty good size.
Yeah.
20 car feature.
pretty damn close.
Yeah.
18 to 20, something
Yeah.
in there, because I think the one or two of them who got through just shit was hurt and they couldn't fix them.
Because I did watch some of it. I don't remember. Somebody was live on it. And I watched some of it on the way home. And it looked like the track was still split to me. Is what it looked like from the video.
Well, that's what we were talking
It
about.
looked like there was 2 derbies going on.
Because the old saying, everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the mouth. We know that. They were down there on one end just kind of doing their shit. And, well,
Big D
Some
got separated from the herd.
yeah, like way from the herd. He was like, uh-oh.
That's where you look around. You're like, uh-oh. What the fuck am I doing here?
I am the only black car down here.
Yeah.
But from what Big D was saying, he figured it out and got the fucking cheesed it the fuck out of there.
So what is it like going on a track in a team show, not just your buddies who's on your team, but buddies that you're actually having to run against. Does that change your mentality?
Not really, no.
Not the fucking mini car.
Because we know what we're there for. We're all there for the same thing.
Correct.
Just no hard feelings at the end is all we do. Hell, Cody's brother and dad were on the team, and me and Cody and them two, that's where my car was built, and Tommy's shop. We were talking the night before, like, hey, there's a chance we're going to draw each other, but we're just going to have to get it on and help each other fix it.
Such as?
And then when you go into the feature with that many buddies, you obviously have an order.
Mm-hmm.
You know, obviously Tommy's team is going to be the last team for us to jump on because that's Cody's brother.
Correct.
But then again, you got Pickens' dad on another team as well.
Yeah, so I
that's
just
when it
haven't
got
figured out
hairy.
the pecking order.
Right.
You know, because we've talked about this so many times. There's always a pecking order. I don't give a fuck what show it is, whether it's Gold Rush or Salisbury or Madison. There's always that pecking order.
Yes.
So how does the pecking order kind of do you guys decide it, or do you let it play out and then figure it out when it gets down to you?
I just sat back after it got down to it and seen who was. So if there was two hitting one guy, I didn't go hit that guy. You know, keep it kind of fair on the buddy side of things.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to
because
have
like
a transmission.
the
to be able
DNR
to-
guys
Yeah.
came over before the show
Yeah.
and was borrowing parts
Yeah.
from Lagnaff of Ronnie and Trent, and then they drew them. So it was like, I'm gonna go junk my own shit on my own shit.
Yeah.
Well, and that's how this local shit is. We've talked about that. That's why we love the diversity whenever we did have all the cars. You know, because you'd have somebody come from Indiana or Iowa or Kansas, you know, and then our local guys were like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's get it on.
Yep.
Or even the diversity inside Missouri. You know, whenever we were drawing, you know, Mullet Man and all them guys, they were coming up here and putting on a fucking show.
Yeah, because the local guys to us are getting,
You know,
they
we
can get it on with somebody else.
had Avis and those guys come from, you know, Kansas City area and all that shit. It was fucking cool. Wish we would have had a little bit more of that diversity at Mother's Day, you know, with the team show, because especially on the compact side, there was a shitload of those guys that, I mean.
Oh, yeah, homies.
Yeah, I mean, all around it.
Close, yeah.
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 Because you can see the pecking order whenever that shit happens.
Yeah.
Like, you can watch it. I mean,
You know, anybody familiar to anything around here local, we know that pecking order.
Yeah.
We know how that is.
because I called the big car feature 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Called it.
So, you know, we understand how that shit plays out, but I just didn't know if there was something.
It's really hard to do that whenever you've worked on that car, or, you know, that guy's called you and been like, man, where the fuck should I put this plate? And I mean, you help them, because I see it all the time. You might not give them but hey, you know, look around that firewall a little bit. You'll find, you know.
See, last year at Fulton, me and Cody, we got ignorant on each other. We were hitting each other head on half track. He did 9% of the work to the car I was in.
Right.
That's what we talked about before. You know, it's a home show. Let's just go out and act a fool when it comes down to it. That's what I like about it. I mean, buddies or not.
You know, fucking 3 cars in Huntsville. Mine and another car come out same shop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, we had loaded up that morning together and went up there, and you're just beating the shit out of the car you were just working on.
Yep.
Fuck.
Knowing I'm going to have to fix that piece of shit.
That's why I'm curious, excited for the Boone County team show,
Okay.
because that's one and done.
I wasn't going to throw this out there, so I let him do it.
I just want to see being one and done and having all the teams a one shot. Then you're really going to have to. You ain't going to have a heat draw to see who does what or who each team runs.
Mm-hmm.
You're all just going to be in there. Obviously, we know a lot of them. I mean, I don't know who's got teams.
So let's get into that. Boone County, which we did a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Lucky Sevens have that
Yeah.
now. They're doing a 2-man hobo
Yeah, I believe so.
little cars.
Yep.
They're doing a 2-man stock big cars, and then they're doing a 2-man mod compacts.
Yeah.
But the format's a little different.
Yes. It ain't this 1v1.
No.
It's
There
all
you
of
go.
you. Get
Well
it.
done, yeah.
I like that.
I know
That's what
who's
we're
Say,
on shit.
yeah, and I'm just the pecking order. Who's gonna do? Who's gonna go after who? You know.
Because I talked to Tyler Ray about that show.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fucking... That is a Mopar, one and done. That...
If you're going to waste a Mopar, that's
You're
where you want to
fucking
waste
right.
it. Yeah, you want to waste it right there.
Yeah.
Just so you don't have to
Which
fix
that
it.
would be the
pull your
same
shit out.
in the hobo little cars. You know?
Yep.
If you were going to waste alumina or something like that, right there's
Yeah.
your fucking meal ticket.
But
'Cause-
really, you get into hobo. Lumina's not your go-to car either.
Uh-oh. Educate me. Talk to me.
I mean, unless you can hard nose it.
Make the price go up on them right now.
You get in like a Honda or a Camry or something.
Man,
Depends.
fucking
I mean, you got to base off plates, and I haven't even looked at the rules.
Seth was saying
Mhm.
that. He said those Hondas are slept on in a gut and go class.
Yeah.
He said the transmissions in them are tough as fuck.
And they fucking run. They run factory.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched Travis Logan. I never thought I'd ever see Travis Logan in a little car. Right when Gut and Go started really coming around here, he goes to Madison and is just clearing
Yeah.
people's shit in a little Honda. And my God, it was.
Man, I ran
running.
against him years ago in Fulton. Years ago. I never thought I'd see him in a big little car either. I pulled in, I was like, Travis Logan, what?
Yeah. So, that's a show. That's your next upcoming show that,
Yeah.
we have
that's-
talked about.
That's the plan, yeah.
We're not going to say who your partner is because he stays a little bit incognito.
Yeah. He sucks, and I don't want to be made fun of.
He just did have a birthday.
Yeah.
We can at least tell you all that much.
Shut up.
Didn't say when. I said he just had a birthday.
Since Justin has been on board with us at Hard Nose, we have figured out how much Broadhead Decals means to the sport of demolition derby. His great quality parts are seen from coast to coast and everywhere in between.
But he can do more than just derby products. Your everyday business may need some pep in its step with new banners or stickers. And just give him an idea and let him run with it. Whether it's business related or just want to look badass in the winner circle, let Broadhead Decals work for you.
We do. Triple B's Tees offer custom shirts and logo designs for all your apparel and merchandise needs, offering a variety of shirts, hats, hoodies, tumblers, and koozies. Triple B's will work with you one-on-one to personalize and perfect your logo. With over 5 years in the business, 20 years in the sport, they live for Demolition Derby.
Chunk and his crew can bring your imagination to realization with zero limitations. So for all your badass tees, choose Triple B's. So let's dive into it a little bit. How hard is it for you as a driver to sit there and when these guys are saying, hey, we're going to run mod compacts, we're going to do 100% payback because we're not basing a payout for this class, but if you get over 10, then we'll kick in some money. How hard is that for you to go take a chance at junking your shit? Because what people don't realize, how much money is in them little bastards?
Okay, I've been wanting to ask that question because we've never really got an answer.
No.
But we defend the compact guys a lot, the mod to compact guys for sure. Because the time and money is there compared to the street stock builds, the shit, the big car stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know a for sure number, but it's not cheap.
No.
I mean, cradle, pedals.
I mean, you're talking
fuel
Compact
cells.
cradles,
you're
$1,800,
talking over-
$2,000.
You're talking over 15,000 in these cars.
I wouldn't put that much in one.
Right. But I'm just saying, if you went pound for pound and bought parts,
Have to buy everything brand new.
built your motor,
Cradle,
Oh, yeah.
transmission,
pedals, shifter,
yep,
cage.
The cage, you're talking $1,500 in a cage if you went and bought all brand new material.
Mm-hmm. For
Yeah,
a good cage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then all your wiring.
But
Fuel
sounds
cell.
like Daddy Trump is trying to help that out by keeping steel mills running.
That's what we're hoping. That's what we're hoping.
Maybe that scrap price go up just a touch.
But sending that shit to China, motherfuckers, because then they tariff the shit out of us on the way back. We send it all to you, then you turn around and you charge us more sending it back here. So we don't want to do that. So,
But the 100% payback for me,
Stupid.
yeah, it's
roughly $500.
and that's
10 cars at $50.
and that's if you're splitting it first, second, and third. What 3-2-1
Cor-
or 3-1-1? No.
yeah.
I was never a fan of that.
And then we sit here and say, well,
You throw 2,000 at that class. And
Correct.
roll on.
a lot, we were talking.
And you can do that for the first 3 spots, and they'll run for it.
But we were talking, heavy cars from Bristol somebody trying to run them around here. These guys aren't going to show up for $1,000.
Right.
They got 30 G's in that.
And if you look back at the Salisbury team show and you think of how many cars didn't come back to the compacts, there's a lot of mod compacts going to be ranging from Bowling Green to Kansas that need a place to run.
yes,
I mean, Huff's got shows, but I mean,
it's still and everybody's like, well, you're in it for the money. You're in the wrong sport.
Easy now.
I take that with a grain of salt, just for the
They're
simple
not trying to
fact-
make money.
No, they just
Trying
don't
to
want to
break
lose
even.
their dick. Yeah, they just don't want to
Pay
lose.
for the trip there.
Mhm.
Shit.
yeah.
But you can't even haul, just say 2 hours. Just say if you're hauling 2 hours. You can't haul to California, Missouri, okay,
Yeah.
for a 10-car show and even break even for your fuel, your grub,
Yeah.
and that's not counting what the fuck you
You
break.
pop a tire on the car. I mean, blow out on the trailer. You just.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that showing we had at Blizzard Bash was terrible, and I had hell over $400 in fuel
Correct.
because I hauled 2 cars on a gooseneck, and plus your Airbnb and your food and your beer and your.
I told him that year we went out there, it cost me $3,500
Yeah, I mean,
between the hotel, fuel, food, all that shit. The stuff that you buy there that you don't have to, the fucking nachos and shit like
Right.
that.
Oh, yeah.
Which I understand that you can't figure all that in because you got to eat. I mean, you knew going
Whether you're eating at home or whether you're eating there. Yeah.
we ate pretty good. You get old Schaefer and Grant drunk on a flat top.
look like hibachi chefs out
They
there.
was throwing down.
They're bouncing eggs and
And
shit
then-
off each other's head.
Pickens' old lady Jada, she cooked some good breakfast, and we ate pretty good. That wasn't an issue.
So we've said at the starting of this year was the year of the team shows. There's team shows everywhere for us. Do you think that is what is running the single shows? Why the car count is so much less than in previous years? Because everybody wants to run a team show, and that's what everybody's. If I'm going to spend $10,000, I'm going to spend it to go win 40.
Right.
I'm not going to spend $10,000 to go win 1,500 3 times.
Right. Yeah. Like now, I mean, I've got a car sitting over in the shop. Needs minimal work and it's track ready, but I know I got a team show coming up. I don't want to run between now and then and risk a motor, transmission, because everything's. I don't have to cut it all out to fix it, so it can sit there and I'll go watch these shows until after that one, and then whatever you got, then I know I can go run.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at with it. I don't want to run, 3 shows between now and then and risk not having a car to go run. I don't even know what Boone County pays.
I'm not sure either.
I don't either. Maybe we need to.
We should probably educate ourselves on that.
Yeah, I don't even know if I've seen it.
I try to push on Lucky 7 stuff because them guys they're trying.
Yeah.
Like they
And
really
we've
are.
been slacking. We really have. I mean, but
There's so much shit
guess
going
what?
on.
I forgot about Bash for Cash again.
Son of a bitch. We did the second year in a row.
Yeah, and then you got Maple City was this weekend as well. there's just so many shows.
Yeah.
People are already
the
jiving
Boone
for
County
next year.
thing, you know, they put some information out. They said they need at least 12 teams to keep the bone stock full size class. It's one and done, and it's $4,000 is what it's paying.
That may be what compacts is. Maybe it's 3,000.
I'm looking right now. You all can keep doing what you're doing. Oh,
But-
right here, found it. 4,000 to win full size
Stock.
stock, 3,000 to win compact, all one and done. So they're having 2-man full size or bone stock full size, 2-man mod compacts, and 2-man hobo compacts. Man, there's some fucking money at that show.
Yeah, there is.
You know, I mean,
Yes.
those are good payouts for 2-man stuff. I mean, you know, you're talking $1,500 a piece. Well, I'll go chunk a, you know,
Mm-hmm.
a $600 car for that.
Yep.
Now on the mod side again, it's so hard to. I've been there.
It's just like, I mean, you guys are in really the same instance as a full-size mod. There's only certain places that you could run them.
Right.
So you sit them bitches in the weeds or corner of the shop and let it go night-night for, hell, it could be 3 months or
Right.
it could be 2 years.
Yeah. The car I ran at Fulton last year, it was one of my bash cars, but it sat in the weeds literally in the woods at my house for over 2 years, a year and a half. And one day Cody, he said, "Run that car." I'm like, "No." I've done Rob stuff.
Let's
off
talk
of it.
about this part real quick. So, do you get home? What do you realize has happened when you get home on said day?
Well, I get a Snapchat of my car pulled out of the woods on Cody's trailer. And mind you, this thing's in rough shape. I've done cut pieces off of it for other cars. And he said, "We're going to run Fulton." I said, "There is no way." Well, I ran Fulton.
Which
And
them dudes
actually,
are nuts.
It just got scrapped not too long ago.
Them dudes are wild. Whenever I was looking for that truck to take to
Bristol.
Cody's like, "Come get it." I was like, "No, I'm not coming to get your truck." He's like, "Oh, just take it. It'll be fine." No, I'm not doing that. "Oh, you want to run? Hell, we'll help you." I'm like, "No,
That
not
is
working all night every day for the next 3 days to run the shit. I'm not doing it."
That is.
They will.
Yes, they will.
They're the dudes with shit. They've changed motors at derbies and everything.
Well, they
else.
did it the night before Salisbury. One of the Lagniff cars, Dakota. He lives Warsaw or something, but he's working in Cody's area. Well, he stopped by and Cody was helping him and unloaded the car, and they were tuning the carburetor or something. He went to load it, and the transmission went out. This was at midnight. And they pulled it, cut the cradle out right there in the driveway. 4:30 that morning, Saturday morning, it was running and driving. They loaded up. I think it said it took a 30-minute nap and then headed to Salisbury.
I'm way too old for that shit. I've announced that. I have said that. No. 1:30 a couple weeks ago damn near killed me. He had to call me to come into my house because I was not awake yet.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. He's like, I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "Trying to get in your house." Oh, shit. It's that time. I can't recoup like I used to.
Right.
I cannot do it. And, you know, what you guys go through, especially, you know, Cody and Tommy and them guys, staying up, taking an hour nap, stay up again, take another hour nap. That is why the one and dones are so good around here.
Yeah.
And even at a big show, do you think if you had a one and done mod compact at Blizzard Bash, do you think it would fill? I think it would.
I want to say yeah.
I think it would. Why? Because not everybody is wired like Cody and Tommy and Greg and them guys. You want to go junk your shit, enjoy the weekend, drink beer, grill steaks, do whatever you got to do.
Yeah.
So what these dudes do in 3 or 4 days is just insane.
Yeah.
The last time I did something stupid like that was Micah's car before Peoria. Put 3 transmissions in that motherfucker before we loaded up and left.
There was one night on my bash car, we were making good progress, and I think it was like 4:30 in the morning, and I just told Cody, I was like, listen, I've got to go sleep. It's a normal day. Once he gets like a breath of fresh air or something,
Second win.
he's got the whole day. He's good till the next night.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't even tell.
That's ADHD. It's 100%.
So listen, I can't do that. I want to run with you, but I can't do it.
So we have a show coming up. Steven just said that there's a very good chance that he is going. Border Wars 2025. The list hasn't been announced yet, and I'm sure before this airs on Thursday, it will be announced. Something that they did a little bit different this year was actually do compacts.
Yeah.
You have several friends and guys that you run with and run against that are on this team. We're not announcing who it is. Is that something that you maybe thought about when it was posted?
No, Cody was on me, and I told him straight up, like, no, not happening.
See, it's a constant
I can
revolutionary
tell
thing.
Cody no, and he thinks I'm joking. And I got like, no, I'm actually not. And then he throws these ultimatums at me, and then I'm like, okay. But no, I didn't even consider that one.
So how do you, knowing the people that you know that are going, do you think Missouri's got a shot at doing this?
I think so. There's Illinois and Iowa also got some
Correct.
heavy hitters, so yeah.
Because what we've talked about is Border Wars has changed this year. Last year, for the full size Border Wars class, they draw names right in front of God and everybody. 3 out of this bucket, 3 out of this bucket, 3, 3, and 3, and that's go get it on. We're taking 3. This year, they got to pick their own teams. Their 3-man team of who they get to run with. So they don't know what heat they're going to run, but they know for a fact that they're running with one team captain and 2 of my other guys. They're not, I don't think they did this for the compacts. I think it's usual way.
Right.
Where, you're just drawing and then you got to go get it on. But some of those guys that are going are wide open from start to finish.
Yeah.
We've witnessed it at Lebanon. Couple there. We've witnessed it at California last year.
Yep.
One into the other. And a pretty similar build. That hobo build is what I would really call it. Iowa calls it their limited weld or whatever, but that's not a limited weld to us. That's
pretty stock.
Pretty stock. Pretty stock. So what these guys are willing to are these guys willing to back it down to try to win? Or are they just there to go put on a show?
That'd be my problem. It's
hard to make that highlight reel, boy.
Yeah, it's hard for me to back it down.
Even if you know what you're in.
Yeah.
Because one thing that we talked about before we hit start was I was going to ask you when or if going to a big car would ever be in your near future. You stated that you like to.
Yeah, I'd love to.
We also talked about like Tyler Pickens.
Yeah.
He goes to Salisbury, he runs his compact, but when you got a stock car, you can't drive it that same way.
You can, it's just not good.
Well,
and it's crazy. Tyler is not the first compact guy that I've seen get in a big car and was like, "This is fucking
this
stupid."
sucks. Yeah. Then there's a couple certain people. I've seen Tyler Verdon do it.
Yeah.
I've seen Danny Hobbs do it.
Cody Meyer.
We've seen the GOAT do it.
Yeah.
We've seen him in one night
Yeah.
go from one to the other.
Yeah, Balake, like, it doesn't bother him at all. Like,
No.
he'll jump back and forth and dominate.
I've rode with him several times in a
He
big car.
keeps such a level head. It's ridiculous. Like, I can't.
I've seen it from the perch where he's like, like almost throwing shit in there, like, no, and he just,
Yeah.
how?
Which his mentality is like that in real life. I mean, like out here on the street.
Yeah.
You can't get him worked up. I've tried fucking with him. I've tried doing everything. Hell, I broke him off. Or, we had somebody break him off at Paris. And he was like, yeah. He's like, I don't think y'all should have done that. I'm like, well, I'm putting a stick back on there. He's like, oh, okay, cool. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, give me some kind of reaction. Shit. Flip me off.
Because that's not the end of the world. And I really think that's how he looks at it.
Because as cocky as everybody says Jake Reed is, like, that dude, he doesn't, you don't see him bouncing in the fucking pits and, I'm all pumped. Like, I mean, he's there to have a good time and shit, but you just see people that are over the top.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they're one of the first ones out, or they overdrive their car, or they blow their shit up, But it's the dude that's calm and cool back in the pits, even with a bad call or whatever. Now, I have seen Jake try to fight skid loader drivers and whatnot, but I've just never seen that from Blake.
No.
And I've seen him pissed off, but never to the point where, you thought
He's wanting to go off and lose his cool.
Right. Professional. Like, he keeps his fucking composure.
He might not in the shop,
Right.
but nobody's seeing that.
Right.
I see it.
Dude's like, no, I've seen him throw shit.
Very seldom do you see, Rob and them guys, you see them, like, you'll see emotion out of them every once in a while, but never that wanting to fight the crowd type shit.
Correct. And we've got buddies that are the polar opposites.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Well, Corey Ludington. He wants to fight everybody.
not really fight, but Corey goes, I mean, his emotions
Yeah.
control him.
Uh-huh.
And that makes it a little bit different. But those are the guys you want on your side when,
When
shit goes
pops
down.
off, yeah.
Shit goes down, you're like, see, Lud, on the way, boys.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. We've talked about it. I don't want the single shows to die. I don't want
They
national level
won't.
single shows
They'll
to
be
die.
back. They'll be back next year.
You think?
100%.
You hope?
Yep. No, they will be. You're going to see a big rule change next year, too. Hide and watch.
Are we in that 3 to 5 year
I don't know if we're in
range
the
right
3
now?
to 5, but everybody's so far apart on rules that you're going to see a mix-up big time. Because everybody's going to try to figure out how to get these cars back
Correct.
all at one place.
Well, cars are too expensive nowadays to go too much stock or
Mhm.
more stock, especially in the mod complex.
I'm going to catch fucking scrutiny over this 100%, but it's the truth. Get rid of the stock class and car prices will go down. Guaranteed.
Probably.
Guaranteed. Get rid of the bone stock class and the gut and go class. Fuck, cars will go back down.
But how? How can you do that?
You
I don't
can't.
think
You
can't.
can't. You'll lose your show. I'm just saying. Because not everybody's going to build a mod car. Not everybody's going to build a street stock car. I'm telling you, you're going to lose 35% of the people that are coming to these shows.
At least.
Yeah. Well, what's that
Yeah.
going to do to car prices?
Like last weekend, I heard somebody, I'm not mentioning no names, but they said we can't compete in the mod complex. Build more. Follow the rules. Don't do the bare minimum to say you ran a teen show and then get mad when
You get your shit junked.
I mean, yeah.
See it all the time.
Yeah.
See it all the fucking time.
I mean, that came out of somebody's mouth, and I was like, "The what? You
Well,
got the same rules we got?"
You can build to the bottom end or the top end.
Yeah.
We've said this. And it all, a lot of that derby's won in the shop.
Mm-hmm.
Because do you load your car up, Big D, if it's not running right, and you're like, oh, it'll run good at the track.
Hell no.
If it doesn't run good at the shop,
It's the 6 foot of altitude change is not gonna deter if that
We've
bitch is
asked-
running good or not.
we've asked Alan, we've asked Blake, we've asked Rob, Teddy, hell, shit. Everybody. I mean, Denton, all them guys. Everybody we've talked to. If their shit is not right at the shop, it's not going to be right at the track.
I mean, you could have the nastiest car, but if you don't have the motor or
If it won't stay running,
We've said it so many times.
You're just
That's
a pinball
what
at
drives
that
me
point.
nuts about the compacts. It's not the drivers. It's not the cars. It's the ones that go out there and run 7 minutes, balls to the wall, and then the motherfucker last another 45 minutes because nobody's shit will run good enough to break anything.
I love it when they pull in and they're changing coil packs and then they're changing distributors and carburetors.
I'm not going down this.
Shit.
We're not going down this fucking road.
Like they're driving across the pits and it's barely running. I'm like, well, I'd like to have them in the heat because I know.
Correct.
I mean,
because he's not going to be able to get out of the way of that wheel shot.
yeah. Then you
When it's
watch
going
people.
Yeah, but as soon as you do that, if their car's built right, if their motor and shit doesn't run, you have fucked your car up on something that shouldn't have even been on the track.
Yep. Yeah.
Or the dumbass actually slide, like you hit somebody and get spun sideways, and they accidentally pull up and die beside you,
Yeah.
where you can't get out. No, fuck me.
You know, has that also changed your mentality when it's not those $300-$400 cars anymore? Now it's them $800.
Did that make you build better?
$1,200.
Or did that change anything? Were you already still building to the best of your ability?
The best of my ability ain't that good. That's why I'm friends with Cody Besworth. No, it does. I mean, spend the time in the places that matter.
Yeah.
It's going to help a ton.
So you're not so much worried about how your welds look on your door.
No, absolutely not.
Here we go. You listening to this?
Go a block over and look at it, and you'd see. Actually, Seth the Westplorer welded on it, and holy crap. Good thing it was on the top.
Dude, so you've never won a derby and somebody come over and been like, man, your car would have been a lot better if you had prettier welds on your door.
No. I'm assuming you have.
That is the mentality you get out of some of these people. Oh, I didn't put my plates on. But man, look how clean them welds are. Like,
Yep.
you should have been welding on that frame, motherfucker.
Or you should have been welding those motor mounts in
Yeah.
a little bit better.
Yeah, your bumper wouldn't be laid over your headers. Like, had you put your plates on. That shit drives me nuts whenever you get it and that you don't use it.
Yep.
See, I first got into mods. 2019 Bash was really one of my first mods. And I thought I had some. I didn't. I had 2x4 door bars, 2x2 gas tank protector. And like I knew Blake, but I didn't really know Blake, and he criticized me a lot about it. I'm like, what? Come out of the heat, I know why now. Because my shit was junk.
Mm-hmm.
Pasture door bar was a banana.
Yeah. Well, I used to build some pretty shoddy cages until I actually started running somewhere against people that ran, and now like I throw the kitchen sink at a cage, like
2x6 times 2.
yeah, which everybody gives me shit. My stock cars have the spaghetti factory of a cage in it, and I'm like, I'm just trying to go to the house after we're done. Like,
Yeah.
Yep.
like I don't need that fuel tank laying in my fucking lap.
Right.
Well, one thing that we've kind of been talking about is, the team show to the single aspect. We've just said Border Wars, Adel, Iowa is this weekend, but there's a single show, national level single show next weekend as well.
Right.
Midwest Massacre.
Uh-huh.
We have kind of stepped on PPs, forgetting some of these shows.
Well, it's getting hard. Like it is. It's
Trying to keep up with them?
like we were talking, we forgot about Bash for Cash.
Yes. 2 damn years in a row.
Yeah, and from the Snapchats and shit that I got, looked like a decent show.
Yep.
Looked like there was some super hard shit there.
Super hard shit. Super hard.
Now, I did see that some people broke off up there.
Yep.
But it looked like the internet was behind them on that one.
Yes. Yeah. I saw that.
You just never know how the internet's going to act.
Mm-hmm. And then they might crucify him today.
Well, yeah, then you get the Febreze memes coming after.
I was going to say that.
But Midwest Massacre, Ultimate Derby,
Yep.
Pecatonica,
Last year.
it was announced, yes, the last year for Peck. They tried to bring the party back to Peck, and it's just not as party crowd anymore because I think that everybody's getting older. People are a little bit more rough to wake up hungover as shit after about 3 hours of sleep, unless you're D and you're chugging Fireball at someplace and you're trying to balance on a telephone pole or something like that. Then people take out trailers and shit.
Thankful the trailer was there.
So they're running trucks, they're running compacts, they're running vans, they're running 3 heats of big car stock.
Yes. Which Sam's not one to shy away from knowing what needs to happen.
Bingo. Okay, we're a little short on street stock, so maybe guys don't want to build all the street stock, so they'll build a stock car.
Add the class that's going to pay.
Yep. And then when everybody and their dog signs up for it, you add another one. And then you add another one. You add to do what you have to do to make your show. There's names on here. The Rodenschmidts walked the dog last year on the stock side for the big cars. They're signed back up again. Dustin Mickus is signed up.
And a couple of them.
Yep. Bob Whitaker. Tom Mowry. Timmy Hornung. He's on there on the Friday night one. Another Mowry was on there. Yep, Dustin again. Mike Mowry again. So these guys went way deep last year. Street stocks. That is what we are having a problem with. Do you think it's just too much build, or do you think it's just too many shows?
There's so many shows. I just don't know how you could expect to grab the cars right now, no matter what your reputation is. Well, like you just said, huge single show this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Huge team show this weekend.
Yeah.
And then coming up, King of Ohio. I mean, It's just a never-ending cycle because everybody that had those badass, and I'm using this in quotations, fair shows has been pumped up where that is a national show. I'm not saying they didn't earn it. I'm not saying it's not worthy of it. But it's run into this issue here.
On your street stock, super stock drivers
And the
list.
fucking rules are still different.
Yeah.
And every one of them.
Chris Collins, Levi Harris, Jared Haney, Zach Johnson, Cody Knuth, Ralph Legis, Mark Lindsay, Sean
Which
Porth.
their camper's loaded up.
Yeah.
His car looks good.
Yeah, dude. Bob Whitaker, Kyle Weiner. So these are a lot of these guys that we're seeing at Nebraska for the first time at Cornhusker Chaos. You saw them at Madison. So you think about this. Cornhusker Chaos was in April, right? April. This is May. You're talking multiple car builds in 2 months. So these guys
Well, I mean,
are
that's,
holy shit.
that's just what I'm saying. Like, you've got these guys that you see at these big shows that are either having to work their dicks completely off. Adam, PJ, those guys, trying to make all these big shows they normally run, and they've stacked them on top of each other.
Yes. Yeah. So, then some guys get crucified because, they signed up and they're not there. Well, guys, shit. Life happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Transmission could have gone out in your daily.
Now, does it suck to see those names on these lists and be pumped
Them
up
not
and
show up?
then not see them there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It does suck.
Yeah.
Especially if, somebody's going to take a 3, 4, 5 hour drive to go watch them and then they're not there.
Well, you see 150 cars on a list and you show up and 60 run across the track.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, what the fuck did I just pay for?
Yeah. And
But at whose fault is that?
correct, because we
That's what I'm
talked to
saying. Where do you
Sam.
point the fingers at?
We talked to Sam. He's like, the sign up was 8 months ago, and we understand life happens, shit happens. And we didn't figure that we'd get all of those 150. We figured we'd get 100 to 120. But then you're seeing these guys going to team shows roughly at the same time, so they have pick and chose, I guess, what they wanted to do, and that's why we come back with that statement of the big national level team shows are taking over. But like you said, you think they'll come back. You think the singles will come back. But do you think that the team shows are going to be cut back when you said that? Because I'm going to ask you right now, but I got both of you here. 2 separate classes. What gets you your meat fat? A single show for $1,500 or a team show for $10,000?
Team show for $10,000.
Well, it's going to be the team show. But I feel like that's apples to oranges.
So, now let's go. Team show for $3,000. Individual show for $1,500. Which
Still
one's
the
going to make
team
your
show.
meat fat?
But still, I think you're apples to oranges again.
Why?
Well, because you're talking the same payouts there.
Mm-hmm.
Different format. You're getting to see that 1 versus 1. You're getting to see the rivalries out there. Let's reverse what you just said, and it'll blow up plumb out of the fucking water. You've got a 25 car cap running for $8,000 in the singles, or a 30 team cap running for $8,000. I'd rather watch that singles show that's one and done, because that bitch is going to be turned to the moon.
Yeah.
And especially if both of them are paying out a $5,000 Mad Dog, that singles heat's going to get way dumber than the team heat.
I have a feeling, like back to Boone County, that it's going to get wild.
I do. One and done,
And
man.
then if that's pretty successful, then I see it being a thing. Like if Huff does a team show again, maybe go one and done.
As soon as I looked at the crowd that was at Salisbury, I turned around. I don't remember who was standing with me. I said, there is 10 teams is what was there for the big cars?
10 or 12.
Okay, so you're talking 20, 25 cars tops.
Yeah.
24 cars tops. I said I'd be going right now, having them count that fucking money that they just got at the gate. I said I'd throw $2,000 more at this motherfucker for first. Give second, whatever, split it in half. I said, and I'd throw all them sons of bitches right out there right now.
Mm-hmm. Get it on.
100%. I would have. I would have had a meeting and been like, hey, boys, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw another $2,000 at each spot, paid down. Maybe pay an extra spot or entry back.
And we'll do it one and done.
One and done. You don't have to work on these shits, but I want you all to go out there and get ignorant. Now, you would have had 30% of the class would have been like, don't want to do that.
Because then it comes back down to that pecking order.
I would have been like, okay, well, here's your money back. Load them shits if you want, or
come on with it.
Mm-hmm. Now, how many compact teams were there? There's quite a few of those, right?
I don't even know.
He ran the show, but he don't know.
That was
I don't
a
know.
long day.
12, 14 probably?
Yeah, you're talking quite a few cars on the track.
Yeah, with the 3-man.
Yeah. If there's 10, you're talking 30, and we've seen that with the gut and go.
Well,
Which I need to reiterate there, somebody's going to die in that class.
Yep. We've seen 35 cars, stock singles, on the track at once.
Yeah, but I had a
Huge track to do it.
It was like 100 by 300.
And then they still kind of got in the way a little bit. I don't know, man.
I love a one and done, man. And your drivers on a local level like it too.
You know, we got Heber coming up. They've got singles classes too,
Uh-huh.
and that shit is one and done. Like Justin's class, the old iron wire, that's a one and done. Chunk's class, the old iron wire, that's a one and done. Them guys do not have to work on this shit.
I don't think you will ever see me run a Heats Big Show again, and I would almost stand on that. And I didn't have to the last time, but I will not pack that shit again.
Well, y'all did sign up for kind of a show this fall.
Yeah.
That was a stock multi-day show.
Right. Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work out yet. That's a lot of time off I'm asking.
Yep.
Yeah, Cody did it packing for Salisbury, and the only thing we didn't take was the building.
Yeah. And that's because you didn't have the Amish there to put it on the trailer.
Yeah.
It's hard to move concrete.
I was like, Cody, we're going to Salisbury, Missouri.
But that's that dedication that people have that I don't.
Yeah. I don't have it either.
Right. I mean, I don't have the drive for it.
I'm old.
Well, dude, I've seen some mangled shit. I mean, bad. Especially on them heavy built cars like what you all are running. I'm not doing it. You know, you're talking shit that's breaking porta powers.
Yes. Well, Derek Creetlow, we had him on. His car at Spring X was fucking junk.
I fixed it.
Junk.
Fixed it.
Fixed it. Stayed up all night to fix it.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
No. No. But I think that's where, like he said, you know, that's when I say I'm going to do something, I'm doing it.
Right.
There is no.
And I'm not going to put myself in that situation.
Correct.
You know, the reason we talked about it, I probably wouldn't have went to Bristol if it hadn't been for T.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to leave her hanging.
Yeah. Team show is, you got to be committed.
Oh, yeah. And I was. It's a fucking time, man. And then it seemed like everything was fighting.
Everything fights against you. And that's usually what happens when somebody's in a time crunch.
Well, and when you don't have endless supply of cash to throw at something.
You're like, fuck, we need to make this.
Oh, yeah. Well, and, you know, I had a head gasket that was seeping. I was like, fuck it. I'll dump some Mentite in that bitch and send it.
Some old blue demon,
Yeah,
blue devils.
And Daniel and Micah were like, So the day, you know, before we went to Bristol, the fucking top end of my motor was laying on the floor. Supposed to be loading the car. Fucking paint was still drying. Yeah,
Yep.
Not doing that.
Yeah, a couple years ago, when I used to build a Reno, we were either the night before we were at Mocaine, is another home show, and I worked all day on that car.
You mean World's Fair?
Yeah. Yeah. And fired it up, put a new radiator in it, filled it all up, fired it up, and water hit the roof. I put my tools down, I left. He said, "You get the car done?" I said, "Yeah. It ain't going to have water, but we're going to go derby." I think we got first and second that day.
Yeah, like that was my motor. Before we were supposed to, there's a blue shop rag sitting over the lifters.
So, guys, there is plenty of shows for you guys if you're not going to be in person at Adel, Iowa, or Pecatonica, Illinois. Pecatonica, Illinois will be We Crash TV. I know Mr. Parker Lazenby is taking the flight ride over. He'll be with Andy and Mr. Anderson as well for that show. And then DerbyNation.tv for all your coverage Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at Border Wars Adel, Iowa 2025. Boys, this is going to be a show. There's going to be some faces that you weren't really sure that you were going to ever see on a bigger stage. Some of those have kind of raised their weary head, as I would say.
I've been getting snaps of cars, and I have seen some sick, nasty built shit.
And I've seen some of them like 2-week build.
2-week
build on kind of a street stock build is what I would say. Their terminology up there is a little bit different than ours.
It is. We talked to Rob Baker about that.
Yeah.
I just sent out a snap of Big D.
Is that why my phone just keeps lighting up?
Yeah, because I said cute guest. Kind of nervous. Blake said he'd hit. Tyler Pickens said if he doesn't shout me out, I'll beat him in the face. Ronnie said that right there is the GOAT. Reno said he's a talker if he's drunk. Otherwise, he's pretty quiet.
Damn.
And your lovely girlfriend said the cutest.
The cutest.
Tyler Pickens, motherfucker, only one of on our team that goes out and gets on the podcast. Ain't that some shit?
Well, he was
being
messing
hard on you, buddy.
He was messing with me the other day, and he's like, "Man, what do I got to do to get on the podcast?" I said, "Bitch, you've been on it 3 times."
Do better.
Who was?
Tyler. Do
Move
better.
around the corner.
Yeah, move around the corner.
Hold on, before you do the tales from the trailer, let's jump on to Border Wars for just a second.
Mm-hmm.
People are going to like this one. This is going to be an episode. Border Wars. So, way different build than what we're used to.
Yeah.
I know that Lucky Sevens kind of blended their rules so that they could run there.
Mm-hmm.
But the snaps that I've been getting on what people are taking, holy hell, the diversity. I've seen 03s, I've seen old iron, and everything in between.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
9802s, two does.
Yeah, there's
Nasty
some
old iron.
nasty looking some bitches that are going there. And we're just seeing Missouri.
Well, yeah.
Couple
most of
Iowa, couple Minnesota, but when you're talking 18, 18, and 18. I mean, I'm not real keen on math anymore, but I'm pretty sure that's 54 cars. That will be just stupid.
Uh-huh.
Build to the upper end of everything that they can build it to.
Well, and now that let's say now, we've known for a while, kind of a rough on the compact side of what's going for Missouri.
Yeah.
We better hold on.
But Rob even told us while we were up there, our compact list has changed so much. Just
Fucking mini car guys.
Yep, guys wanting to do a team show in Illinois, so that took some guys out, because most of the guys on there, I would think half of them, I didn't expect the other half, because
Right.
I figured that would be, like D and Cody and Tyler and Ronnie, those kind of guys.
But again, first year,
Yep.
I'd say step back on that.
Want to see how it goes
they're,
down.
They're going to watch, and then you'll see some different faces next year. That's how this shit works. Hell, we haven't seen hardly any consistency on the Missouri side and the big car side.
No, some
Yes, I didn't say all of them, but some. For sure.
two or three of those 3-man teams I expected. 2 or 3 of the other 3-man teams I did not expect.
Okay, I wanted to.
It's going to be a show. Regardless, I don't give a shit which one you watch.
I thought if it was going to rain like it was supposed to, I really was going to go pull that caddy down because Seth said he'd come down and help me. I mean, it needs 2 plates moved and pulled around. I told you whenever I went and pulled the hood off the other day, because I hadn't checked it, see if there was still water in it from Bristol. Because me, I'd taken care of business. I went out there, pulled the hood off of it, and I every time junk a fucking radiator. It's $150 fucking radiator. Well, I pulled the hood off of it, and I was like, shit, I didn't have the radiator in this one. Whenever it bent in front of the spring pockets, I don't know how or why, but whenever that steering rack come up, it pinched the fucking lower radiator hose and put a hole in it. Which it didn't have any water in it because of the lower radiator hose. But I didn't ruin the fucking...
Didn't
so it
ruin it.
literally needs a lower radiator hose and 2 plates moved and pulled around a little bit, and you could send that shit.
DerbyNation.tv is your one-stop shop for your Demolition Derby pay-per-view needs. With a schedule like no other, you can catch all the shows you want to watch at the touch of a button from the comfort of your living room without leaving your house. But pay-per-view derbies aren't the only thing that they can get you. You can also carry a monthly subscription to watch the ever-growing Derby Builds, where you get all the behind-the-scenes action on different build processes with the Derby Builds team, including team show cars and even some national-level youth builds.
And if you can't make it to that big show in person, go ahead, host that shop watch party, and let DerbyNation.tv bring excitement of Demolition Derby action straight to your shop live on your TV.
Well,
Tales from the trailer.
Mr. Zach Essie. 2017, I wanted to run my first ever car since I've always been known as a lawnmower guy. Now look
Strike
at there,
one.
going from lawnmower guy to big car. A friend of mine worked at a junkyard, said he had a car for me and told me to come and get it. So I grabbed some tools and went to the junkyard. After trekking through a bunch of weeds taller than 6 foot, I sat a 96 Oldsmobile Cutlass. I said big cars, and that's a fucking mini car.
Smart man.
We cut a nice path through weeds and got it pulled out to where I can start stripping it out. Lo and behold, as I was stripping it out, I heard some rustling around underneath the back seat.
See that right there? I'll start moving.
After damn near pissing myself and banging my head off the roof, I pulled the back seat up to find some baby furry mass bandit critters. Trash pandas, as we call them. After finding them and safely removing them, I got worried as to where these babies, where the mama was at, and she comes back, she's gonna be pissed. I continued my stripping, and as I reached the trunk and opened it, and hearing the hiss, yep, there's Mama Bear in the trunk. After getting her out and far away from me, I got car stripped enough to finally, about midnight, got car loaded up on the trailer and hauled ass out of the junkyard. For a fairly stocky build, that car served me well, even in the last run, placing third to two welded Camaros that put the trunk lid touching the back of my headrest.
And then he attached a couple photos.
Woo!
And yes, they did fuck the back of that car.
Yeah.
That is some old school shit right there.
Mm-hmm.
I love hearing it. Junkyard. That's how everybody used to do it. They go to the junkyard, they give nothing for a car, they'd strip that bitch out in the junkyard, they go run it, and then they'd take it back.
And bring it right back.
Yes.
That old boy was out nothing
Right.
to do that because he's still going to get his scrap out of it.
And
when
usually
he
got more because they had put a cage in it or concrete in the frame and all that shit.
And then they take all their bullshit that's in their garage and their shop that they're wanting to get rid of, and they're
Throw
going
it
to
in
use
the
it as a dumpster.
Yep.
Yes. Dudes, I think you got a full weekend of shows without a doubt. Just depends on, which one you want to watch or which one you want to go partake in. We will be, me for sure, hopefully some other dickhead right next to me, will be up a day after. We will have shirts. We will have hats. I've got a few cups. We will be right next to JM Race Engines. I got told that we will actually be on the spectator side this year instead of kind of in the pit side. So they're wanting a little bit bigger area for vendors, so it's not so tight where everybody can just come over and not have to get on that
give the
side.
general admission
Yes.
people a chance to
Yep.
come up, because if we are set up or where we are set up, and as long as if I make it up there or whatever, like, come over, talk to us.
Yes. But please introduce yourself.
Yes.
Please introduce yourself.
I'm gonna have to have people start doing that grandma pass on the money, except I need your name folded up in a note. Give me a handshake. Sign your name.
Yeah, because it's cool to meet everybody, but it's kind of hard to talk about meeting somebody when we're not sure who the hell they are.
And it looks like we've got shirts that are from medium to
4. Medium to 4X. So we don't have little midget sizes, but
and we're gonna try to keep that shit affordable for everybody.
Yep. So
Which I think I did see a snap from Sam Williams. It looked like he was getting ready for the party.
yep, they're getting ready to load everything and head that direction. I think on the semi.
Yep.
As
Looked
normal.
like he had some meat that they were cooking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because they had set Peck up where you did get to hang out.
Yes.
And do some partying and kicking back.
Had us some time where if you're going to feel like shit the next day,
Yeah.
you're good. Which Border Wars kind of took the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you're not going to have to get it all night long.
Well, I
'Cause
like
they're gonna
that
give you
there's
an extra
that.
day.
There's no Sunday.
There is no
I like
Sunday.
that.
There is no Sunday, and if you get
Because you've dealt with that, Big D, leaving Blizzard Bash and just sick of it.
Yeah.
knowing you got to go to work on Monday.
I finally got where I was taking Monday off. And I was staying. I'd stay Sunday night.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck it. Rooms that were cheaper, there
Yep.
wasn't nobody there. You get out of that parking lot Monday morning,
Walk right to your shit and roll out. So
woke up that one year and there was snow in my car. I was like, oh, fuck. Had to go get a tire put on a truck. That was awesome. Love that shit.
Border Wars.
Okay, hold on.
Pecatonica,
Make
Midwest
your,
Mass.
make your prediction. Border Wars.
I can't do that.
Come on. Come on.
I can't do that because
Tentative. I want tentative. Missouri coming out of the heat. How many of them's coming out of the heat?
well, the heats will be.
3, 3, 3, 3. 3, 3.
That's
3.
changed a little bit. There'll be 6 from Missouri, 6 from Iowa, 6 from Minnesota, taking 5.
Oof.
So they have readjusted that
Oof.
because Nebraska, after that bullshit last
Right.
year, they were out. We talked to Rob about that. Kansas couldn't get enough. Illinois, most of them are going to Southern Illinois Showdown.
I can't believe Kansas. That's disappointing.
As many car builders there is in that state, everywhere, you would think they can get. And I think they had like 9. And they
I
were
would
thinking
almost try
if
it.
we can get 6 more cars, 2 more teams of 3, that
almost
we're going to
tried
try it. I know.
Because of the format up there.
Yes.
Like 9's respectable.
Yes.
3 of them are going to hurt.
Yeah. But where he's changed that a little bit,
It wouldn't be as bad.
correct. Yeah, that would help. I'm not sure who all Minnesota's bringing, but if anything like they brought last year, they're going to be a fucking handful.
Uh-huh.
Colton is going to be doing Colton shit,
Oh, yeah.
just like he did last year. And I think if he wouldn't have lost a wheel,
Here we go with that coulda, woulda, shoulda,
I know,
shit.
but he is that good. He was blowing the fucking field off the track.
Right.
Right? I mean, just doing nasty shit. So it's kind of hard to bet against him, but then it's hard to bet against Missouri when
Right.
I'm from said Missouri.
Which, I mean, and we've seen some Missouri get paid
Mm-hmm.
at Border Wars.
Yeah, they all got paid last year.
Uh-huh.
An extra $16,000 for the team.
Uh-huh.
$18,000.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see him repeat. I just think it's going to be a lot harder to repeat this year.
Right.
Compacts, there's no way I'm picking. There's no way I can pick on the compacts. There's no way I can pick on the 2-man stock shit either.
Are they running compacts on Monday?
They're not running compacts
Oh.
on Monday. Look at that look. The 2-man stock show is going to be a hell of a show. It's a one and done. You've got some bad dudes that are coming. You've got some guys that usually were on the Border War side of it the last
Yeah.
couple years. They're actually running the 2-man stock shit. We've got some guys right down the road from us that are going to be going up there.
Yeah.
Plus, you're going to have, I'm sure, Nebraska and Iowa and Minnesota and North Dakota,
I
South
think
Dakota.
it'll be a dogfight.
Yeah, I think it'll be fucking nasty.
I think it's going to be one to watch for sure.
Yep.
Not saying anything, not taking anything away from Pack because it's two different shows. I mean, big time. Two different rule sets.
Yeah.
Their big card builds are kind of similar ish.
Minus some
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
Protectors and whatnot.
But if you, like I said, if you can't make those shows, Pecatonica, We Crash TV, DerbyNation.tv for all your Border Wars coverage. Single and multi-day packages as normal, especially on these multi-day shows.
I'm hoping that all my guys are there on Thursday night. And I'm going to have to do paperwork in my truck.
The
I
paperwork.
just got another snap about old Big D.
I haven't even opened mine up.
Cody
yet.
Bedsworth, he loves me. Jacob Green, legendary.
Legend.
Jacob Green, locally hated.
Gary.
Locally unknown.
We was just talking about that last night.
So, D, thanks for coming and hanging out with us.
Hell yes.
No
We'll let
problem.
you,
That was kind of a spur of the moment.
Yeah.
deal. Derek was like, I always won't do a guest this week. And I was like, well, that's what Big D's doing.
I said,
Right around the corner.
I'll shoot a message. So, yeah, they've
Hell,
got
you
you
might
covered.
hear him on here more than you know.
I don't know if Mama's going to let him out all the time, though.
Shit.
I got to go walk the dog real quick.
Yes. Come over for 20 and roll back. Yeah.
That's not my favorite thing to do.
Well, I was out at walk.
Yeah.
And dog.
I can't say that. You ought to see my fucking eyes.
I
I look
can't
like an
either.
animal sanctuary.
No, there's a dog.
Yep. Little running around motherfucker.
There is a dog.
There is a dog. So, well, this weekend, 2 big ass shows. Either be there or watch it on pay per view. D, appreciate you.
If you don't watch one of these shows, you're gay.
Big junk, boys.